Every second of every day, thousands of satellites quietly guide our world without most people ever noticing. From aircraft and ships to smartphones and emergency services, countless systems depend on precise satellite navigation. Every commercial flight relies on accurate positioning to move safely through increasingly crowded skies. Global shipping also depends on satellite navigation to deliver food, fuel, and essential goods across the planet. Even ordinary drivers unknowingly depend on GPS technology every single day. Modern military aircraft integrate satellite navigation into nearly every phase of their missions. Emergency responders also rely on accurate positioning when every second can mean the difference between life and death. Financial markets, communication systems, and critical infrastructure all depend on precise timing delivered by satellites. But imagine if those signals suddenly began to disappear without warning. What if, in a single moment, every GPS signal on Earth simply vanished? Across the world, airline crews immediately received the same warning. GPS navigation has completely disappeared. Cargo ships suddenly lose their primary navigation systems while crossing thousands of miles of open ocean. Millions of drivers discover that their navigation apps can no longer determine their location. Military drone operators rapidly switch to backup procedures as autonomous navigation systems begin to fail. Naval crews immediately return to traditional navigation methods that many sailors rarely use today. Air traffic controllers work non-stop to keep hundreds of aircraft safely separated without satellite positioning. Modern precision weapons are designed around satellite guidance, forcing militaries to rethink their entire strategy. Emergency dispatchers struggle to locate people requesting urgent medical assistance. Satellite timing is also critical for financial networks, creating unexpected problems far beyond transportation. Within just a few hours, the disappearance of GPS begins affecting nearly every part of modern civilization. Critical energy infrastructure begins experiencing unexpected disruptions as satellite timing disappears across multiple networks. Global supply chains slow dramatically as ports struggle to coordinate incoming shipments. Railway operators rapidly abandon automated systems and return to manual traffic management. Even precision agriculture begins breaking down as automated equipment loses satellite guidance. Rescue teams quickly discover that finding people becomes far more difficult without reliable positioning. Military commanders face a dangerous new reality where tracking potential threats becomes far less predictable. Airports across multiple continents begin delaying flights until safe navigation procedures can be restored. Technology companies race to develop emergency alternatives as billions of devices lose their primary navigation capability. Older communication technologies suddenly become valuable again after years of being largely forgotten. Governments around the world begin coordinating an unprecedented international response to stabilize transportation, communications, and global security. Military forces quickly return to navigation techniques that had almost disappeared from modern training. Engineers investigate whether alternative satellite constellations can restore even partial navigation capability. Scientists search for answers, trying to understand what caused the worldwide loss of positioning signals. Manufacturers rapidly increase production of navigation systems that do not depend on satellites. Critical communication networks activate backup timing systems to keep essential services running. Ground forces continue operating, relying once again on traditional navigation skills developed long before satellites existed. Researchers begin exploring terrestrial navigation systems that could reduce dependence on orbiting satellites. Autonomous technologies adapt by relying more heavily on onboard sensors and artificial intelligence. International cooperation becomes essential as experts work together to rebuild global navigation capabilities. One mission after another lifts off, beginning the long process of restoring the infrastructure that modern civilization depends upon. Nations immediately begin building a new generation of navigation satellites designed to be more resilient than ever before. Artificial intelligence gradually replaces satellite navigation for many commercial transportation systems. Aviation also evolves, combining artificial intelligence with multiple independent navigation technologies. Military planners redesign global navigation networks to prevent a single point of failure ever again. Cities gradually adapt by combining local positioning systems with intelligent transportation networks. Space launches become more frequent as governments race to rebuild critical orbital infrastructure. Future generations study this global crisis as one of the greatest technological turning points in history. Humanity's dependence on space becomes clearer than ever, making orbital infrastructure one of Earth's most valuable assets. Years later, a stronger and more resilient navigation network finally reconnects the entire planet. Fortunately, this was only a fictional what-if scenario. But it reminds us how deeply modern civilization depends on technologies we rarely think about. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe for more military analysis, technology, and alternate history stories.